South Park Season 26 has gotten some pretty mixed reviews, so here's an overview of my thoughts for this season, starting with...
What the fuck is this?
This episode deals with Stan feeling jealous that Kyle and Token are hanging out more. Cartman tries to help out Stan by telling Token that Jewish people run Hollywood. Cartman, seeing later that his plan failed, decides to go to Cupid Yee, and with his help spreads rumors that Kyle really does run Hollywood. So Cupid Yee sneaks over to Token's house, then starts gaslighting him about Jewish people. And the next day at school, Kyle has to deal with more people thinking that he runs Hollywood. And Randy goes over to Kyle's dad to talk to him about him running Hollywood. The next day, Kyle and Token have a fight, and then they resolve to not hang out anymore. The next day, Cupid Yee turns everyone against Kyle. Cartman comes in at the last second and then forces Cupid Yee to take his meds. He then transforms into his normal form, changing everyone back to not anti-Semites. This episode was a pretty great opening to the season. It was a simple story satirizing a celebrity. Now let's get on to...
We got some sweet drip, dude.
This episode I don't really have much to say about. It's just Kyle getting annoyed that he can't hang out with his friends. The stuff with the prince is kind of funny. Other than that, not much really happened in this episode. The ending was decently funny enough.
Could I play?
Sure, you can play.
Good!
Moving on.
We can't just back down.
Bro, I got fucking shot!
This episode was decent, but it kind of felt like it got cut short. Randy gets a Japanese toilet, Jimmy talks about the toilet paper industry, Randy gets shot, that's just kind of it. I thought the ending was kind of funny, where everything just sets back. It felt like it was picking up steam right at the end, and then did nothing with it the next episode. Moving on.
How do you do it? Chat GPT, dude.
This is another really basic episode. Again, Stan's texts are dry. He uses ChatGPT. The class uses ChatGPT on their assignments. Stan writes an uninteresting ending using ChatGPT on his phone. Aside from a few jokes that I've found kind of funny, I just don't really care about this episode. It's alright, but it could have been better. Moving on.
How did you pull all that off? Chat GPT, dude. Here I want to be in Deacon Bass! Deacon Bass is awesome! This place sucks!
Okay, this episode was great. This is just a simple story of Cartman being selfish, where he just uses Butters to get where he is now, by exploiting his good work ethic. And then by the end of the episode, Cartman ends up getting it taken away, kind of like with Cartman Land, except instead of being sued, he just gets sent back to his old house. Overall, it was a great episode. Moving on.
Yes, there absolutely will be a margarita in my mouth. Spring break! Woo!
This episode follows Mr. Garrison going to South Carolina for spring break, and while he's there, he relapses into becoming the president. And while Sharon is away on spring break, Randy tries to get his son and Tolkien to quit playing Warhammer and do more stereotypical spring break things. And at a rally, Mr. Garrison addresses Rick and says that he needs him. And at the same time, Randy comes to the same realization that he needs his wife. And the episode ends with Sharon coming back and Garrison and Rick back together. This was probably my favorite episode of this season. It's kind of because I find spring break plots really enjoyable, and it's also just got a nice ending. Overall, this episode was pretty great. I'd say overall this season was pretty decent. I do kind of wish that we got more from these seasons instead of just 6 episodes and 2 special events, but so far they've done a pretty good job with the Paramount Plus specials, and I can't wait to see where they go next. And that's about it. See ya.